In this video, we're going to take a look at how to name alkenes and alkynes, which are two other homologous series of organic compounds. So let's start with alkenes. Alkenes have at least one carbon-to-carbon double bond. And the general sort of name and pattern that it follows is we'll use the prefix, so could be meth, eth, prop, bute, pent, or hex, followed by X, which is a number that indicates where the double bond starts, and then followed by the ending ENE. So could be something like prop 1-ene. Its general formula is CnH to the 2n, so it has 2 less hydrogens than an alkane does. And that's sort of where we're at with alkenes. So we're going to follow the same sort of rules that we use to name alkanes. If you haven't watched the alkanes video yet, make sure you go back and do so. But then we're going to just have to account now for where the double bond occurs. And the numbering is chosen to give the double bond the lowest possible number. So it takes precedence over any other alkyl groups attached. Alkynes are very similar, except they contain a carbon-to-carbon triple bond. Their general name is the alk again, the X, which is the number, and then its ending is -ine, Y-N-E. General formula is CnH to the 2n minus 2. So it has 4 less hydrogens than an alkane does. So when we have structures that have all of the hydrogens fully attached to the carbons, we would say that they are saturated. So saturated formulas are alkanes, and they are all single carbon to carbon or carbon to hydrogen bonds. But when we have those hydrogens missing, or we have double or triple bonds, we say that they are unsaturated. So these are our alkenes and our alkynes, and even our arenes, so like our benzene molecule, are unsaturated as well. All right, so those are kind of our general rules. Let's take a look at some examples on how we name alkenes and alkynes. So let's start with this structure here. And we're going to follow our rules by finding our longest carbon-containing chain first. And I'm just going to take the one straight across. We could have started at the top here. It would have given us a 4-carbon chain regardless. Now, as we're kind of looking here, we have a methyl group attached. So I'm just going to color that one red. And as we're numbering our carbon chain now, we need to make sure that this double bond here is given the lowest possible number. So we're going to start numbering from that end of the molecule. Okay. Now, when we're numbering where that double bond is, we always take the lower number out of where the double bond is starting. So we would say that the double bond is starting at position 1, and we wouldn't use the number 2 because 2 is bigger than 1. So this is a 4-carbon chain. So we need the prefix bute, and then we're going to indicate that the double bond starts at 1, and then the ending is ENE. So it's a bute 1-ene. And then for our methyl group is at carbon 2. So we're going to have a 2-methyl bute 1-ene. And it's all one word, so just keep that in mind. There should be no spaces in there. Okay, that's example number 1. Example number 2, we have this compound here. As I'm kind of finding the longest chain, I kind of like to start with where the double or triple bond is because I know it has to be part of the longest chain. So I'm going to go this way. So we got 3, 4, and then I could go up or I could go to the side. I'm going to go up just to be a little bit different here. Okay. And then this would be a branch or a substituent group. And we need to start numbering from the ends that has the triple bond. So I'm going to number them this way. Okay, so that means we have a methyl group on carbon 4. So we're going to start 4-methyl. And then we have a 5-carbon longest chain, so that's a pent. And then the triple bond starts at 1, and it's a triple bond, so we're going to go ine. So it's a 4-methyl pent 1-ine. One last example then. Sometimes you can have more than one double bond or one triple bond in the molecule. So looking at this one here, our longest chain is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbons. It doesn't really matter where we start numbering because either way, our bond numbers are going to start at 1, 3, and 5. So this one, if we're naming it, we're still going to start with hex, and then we're going to indicate where all of those double bonds are. So we got 1, 3, and 5. And then instead of just saying ene, we're going to add the tri in front of it to tell us that we have 3 double bonds. So this would be a hex 1, 3, 5 tri-ene. And that's probably about as complicated as it's going to get. All right, so that's some great examples for you, as well as how to name alkenes and alkynes. That's it for this video. We'll see you in the next one.